Hey everybody, this is Claude from the Lamest Defenders. So I'm going solo today just to briefly talk about where Spider-Man will go next. I honestly don't think it's going to be another solo movie. So let's get started. All right, so obviously there's spoilers here. So I'm going to briefly just discuss some things that happen in Spider-Man Brand New Day. One of the most important things is that Peter Parker and Ned and MJ, it seems like their memories are starting to shape a little bit more, especially with Ned and Peter. You kind of see at the very end where they do that secret handshake. So I think the next movie will eventually kind of build up that relationship with him specifically. As for MJ, I have a really interesting theory because in the movie, she kind of helps Peter Parker kind of figure out some things with the little inhibitor chip. So I'm like, maybe we might see her maybe work at Oscorp, maybe help develop a Goblin serum. I know Green Goblin was just in No Way Home, but I really think the MCU would benefit with its own Green Goblin. So that's really important going forward because that's like the main Spider-Man bad guy. And then obviously at the very end there is an after credit scene where you see the Spider Tracker in space. I don't know what to think of that. I think it's going to be setting up Secret Wars. I don't think it's another Peter Parker like Tobey Maguire, because the big rumor too is Tobey Maguire, Doomsday is supposedly opening up with, I guess, some Tobey Maguire action with his Earth, his reality, his universe is crashing into another. I don't think it's that, because how would the Spider Tracker know that Peter Parker from the Peter Parker that's in the MCU right now, so which is Tom Holland. So I don't know. We'll see about that. It's pretty interesting, but I just want to give a brief recap on that for those characters. And speaking of Doomsday or Secret Wars, I don't think Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to be in Doomsday. There hasn't been any real, marketing with him in it. I think he could possibly be in like maybe a quick cameo or something like that. But I think where Tom Holland's really going to have the most screen time is Secret Wars. And obviously, if you know anything about the comics, Secret Wars is when Peter Parker gets that symbiote suit. So it'd be interesting to see that. And I think that could tie in with the end of this movie, Brand New Day, where it shows a Spider-Man in space. So I think Tom Holland's really cool Brand New Day costume, which I think is like the most comic book accurate costume. I even rank it better than the Amazing Spider-Man 2 costume, which is crazy for me to say. But I think he's going to tear up his Brand New Day suit in like a huge battle, battling Doombots or whoever's on his side, and it's just going to be like the original Secret Wars costume where he sees like a big black, like ball or something in a vase in a secret laboratory, and then that suit's going to take him over. I don't think we're going to see any negative aspects of the suit. I think with Secret Wars, if he does get that symbiote costume, it's really going to hammer on the fact that this suit's awesome. And then in Spider-Man 5, I think that's where it's going to kind of show off some of the negative aspects with the symbiote. And that kind of ties into after Secret Wars, where do they take Tom Holland's Spider-Man? And I think even though we just kind of did like a street level thing, I really think especially Sony, I feel like they really want Daredevil. And having a street level story with Daredevil and Spider-Man, possibly teaming up with Black Cat against Kingpin and possibly Mr. Negative, because I know Sony likes all their villains, jam-packed in there. And it'd be really cool. And it'd be like a darker movie, almost like Brand New Day, because this really wasn't a very positive story in the very end. I mean, it wasn't a happy story, is what I mean. So I think having Spider-Man being a little bit darker, a little bit of an edgy boy, he'll be there edging with Daredevil, possibly the Punisher, because I think John Bernthal's Punisher kind of stole the show for me. For Brand New Day, and then they would go against Kingpin to kind of show off that symbiote power. So I think that's a really interesting way to kind of use Tom Holland's character in the future. And really with the symbiote, I don't think I don't think they're going to introduce Eddie Brock. So I think Matt Gargan which is a Scorpion, will get that Venom symbiote, which is really exciting to me just to see, even though I hate Matt Gargan as Venom, especially his look in the comic. But for them to do something different, which, I mean, we just had Eddie Brock with Sony's crappy Venom movies. I mean, they could bring back Tom Hardy. He was a good Venom, but I don't know. I just think it's time to do something fresh with the character, and I think this is a perfect opportunity. And then my final prediction is I think Spider-Man 5 will finally introduce Miles Morales. Amy Pascal and Tom Holland have been just talking about Miles Morales and the possibility of him being in the movies. And then after Into the Spider-Verse 3 comes out, I think it kind of gives them the green light to do the live action version of Miles. I don't think Miles Morales will immediately replace Peter Parker at all. I think maybe in Spider-Man 6, Peter Parker, that's going to be his protege, and it's going to be him kind of training him up. Honestly, I don't think they're ever going to get rid of Tom Holland. I think it's going to be almost like a team-up movie from then on out, and maybe a Miles Morales solo movie. I'm not sure how they're going to do it. I just hope it's implemented a little bit better than Insomniac's Spider-Man 2, because that was a very busy game, and narratively, I don't think it really hit all the marks. But I do think Miles Morales will be finally introduced in Spider-Man 5. Maybe he'll get bit by that spider, and you get to see some of his unique aspects. And it might sound like it's a busy movie because we're talking like Spider-Man will get the symbiote suit. You're going to have Daredevil. You're going to have Kingpin, Black Cat, Mr. Negative, the Punisher. But you got to remember this is a Sony movie, and they like to jam as much as possible in these movies for better or worse. So I always say don't underestimate Sony's ability to things up, but with Kevin Feige on board, as long as he has a little hand with baking the cake, so to speak, with Miles Morales, I think they're going to do it in a responsible way. So those are my predictions for Spider-Man 5. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you think they're going to keep it street level with the symbiote, or would you rather them just not have the symbiote quite yet? But the good thing is, it's hopefully there's still that Marvel connection with Kevin Feige, and he can kind of help steer Sony into some good creative choices. So we could get something closer to Brand New Day rather than Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Madam Web, Morbius, Kraven the Hunter. The list goes on. Venom 1 through 3. So again, what are you guys' predictions? Just let us know in the comments below, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.